Hey garden friends, I'm Nikki from Proven Winners Direct, and I am back in the greenhouse to show you 7 more plants for Plant of the Day beginning Monday, October 24th. Why am I wearing a witch hat? That is a very good question. We just got done traveling about around the greenhouse and visiting a few of our friends, and we booed them. If you don't know what that means, make sure that you watch for a video coming soon, and it'll show you, and you'll get to see some pretty flowers. Our first plant of the day is the Supertunia Priscilla, and this was new this year. They have beautiful double lavender blooms and a deep purple veining, gorgeous. These guys have a really nice full growth habit. I trialed them at my house, I think it was 2 summers ago, and I put just two grandes in a 14-inch pot, and gorgeous, gorgeous. They completely engulfed it. They can trail up to 2 feet like most of our Supertunias do. The one thing that I did notice that was different about the Priscilla is, you know, when we talk about Supertunias or petunias getting leggy, this growth was different. So it looked like it could, but it was like the best leggy ever. It was beautiful and you'll love it. But what I did was I trimmed it up, because I love the even where it just drapes over. So I trimmed it up and I kept doing that, and it was so full and so gorgeous. This was probably my second favorite Supertunia. Jazzberry is my first. So they'll grow to be about 12 inches tall. They'll trail up to 2 feet, part to full sun. They do love to be fed. All of the annuals, you're gonna wanna focus on that water-soluble fertilizer to really get the perfect color and the perfect growth. Bees and hummingbirds love them, and you will too. Our second plant of the day is the ColorBlaze Newly Noir Coleus, and these are really growing in popularity, and you can see why. This foliage is gorgeous. Obviously the deep purple, it's pulls some black in there too, so it's really great for Halloween. But also, it's going to give you instant impact the second you plant it until your first hard frost. That's what I love so much about Coleus, is constant color all season long. And obviously all of the color varieties. But this guy here, you can plant in sun or shade. They are going to grow to be about 3 feet tall. They can spread to be about 2 feet. One of my favorite things about Coleus outside of their awesome colors is that you can trim them to kind of have them grow however you want. I've used them in the ground and in containers, and in containers I kind of wanted to keep them contained a bit. So I would just trim them a bit and they would just keep flushing out these gorgeous leaves. Our next plant of the day is the Primo Peachberry Ice Coral Bells, and this heuchera is becoming one of our most popular varieties. The color, right? It has this apricot orangey, it has a pink undertone and a silvery overlay, these beautiful ruffles, simply gorgeous, obviously perfect for fall. They're gonna grow to be about 10 inches tall. They can spread to about 2 feet. Midsummer, they're gonna have these beautiful flowerscapes that come up with a really pretty cream flower on top that the hummingbirds and bees will totally go nuts over. They're just the perfect way to add instant vibrant color to any of your gardens. They can tolerate sun or shade. However, do keep in mind, we've noticed that when they are put in a little bit more sun, you're not gonna have as vibrant of a color. So lean more on the shady side to keep that pop lasting all season long. Follow me. That was our warming chamber. They're called a Germination Room. We have 2 of them. That's the really hot one. We were getting super foggy and spooky, so I came out here so that you could see me in my cute little witch hat. So we have 2 rooms. All seeds, all different plants germinate differently. They have different requirements, and so we provide them a warm room, and then we also have a cold room. The warm room that we were in, it was about 80 degrees in there. Humidity's anywhere from 95 to 100%. and obviously the lighting and stuff and all of that is directly impacting the germination rate of the seeds. So by providing the perfect environment for them, it allows them to germinate quickly and at a more even rate, and then more seeds will also germinate. So it's all about the perfect conditions. I just think it's really cool, and there's so many different fun, exciting things throughout the greenhouse. So I'm going to try and take little blips here and there so that you guys can experience the full thing and how we work so hard to provide the best product possible, the best environments possible for your plants. Our fourth plant of the day is the Firefly Diamond Yarrow. And these have beautiful white ivory flowers. They get about 2 to 3 feet tall. And the white ivory flowers contrast beautifully against this dark green foliage. And I really, really love these leaves because it reminds me of little baby ferns. And they're just wispy and airy and free. And I just think that's cute. But anyways, 2 to 3 feet tall. They prefer a full sun area. They're great in the middle of a landscape. They're hardy from zones 3 to 8. And really you can just put them anywhere. Come back year after year. At the end of the season, when the blooms fade and they start to look a little hairy, trim them back by about half, and that's all there is to it. Next up, we have the Blue Chiffon Rose of Sharon. And if you are a seeker of the true blue blooms, this is your shrub. They have true blue blooms that have a lacy center, so it gives it that double bloom, double flower look. And these blooms will just cover the shrub. They're gorgeous. The Chiffon series is different from the usual Rose of Sharon. So typically they are more upright like a column and very rigid. The Chiffon series, they're more flowy in the garden and they swing with the breeze, and their habit is more of a round. They're lovely. They are hardy in zones 5 through 9, and they're very, very low maintenance, super adaptable plants, easy shrubs that you can put anywhere. They love the sun, of course, to get those beautiful blooms. The one thing that I always think about with Rose of Sharon's is they are very slow to wake up. So in the winter, they go dormant, they're brown sticks, you know, and then spring comes and everything's starting to show signs of life, and you're kind of like, hello, hello. But it's still alive. It just takes time. So they're very slow to wake up. A good trick, good rule of thumb, if you do have Rose of Sharon's and they're taking a little bit longer than you start to get worried, give them a little scratch test. Just scratch it with your fingernail. If you see green underneath, you're good to go. Next up, we have the Yuki Cherry Blossom Deutzia, and these are gorgeous for spring color. In the spring, they will be covered with these sweet, dainty blooms. And actually they provide really great fall interest too. As you can tell, the foliage turns to this burgundy purpley color that's gorgeous in the fall. They're super great for small spaces. They only grow to about 1 foot to 2 feet tall and wide, and so you can really tuck them in just about anywhere. They do prefer part to full sun, very similar to a hydrangea, and I would actually treat them the same way in terms of sun. So if you're in a warmer climate, I would make sure they have some of that afternoon protection. They're actually cousins to hydrangeas, a little fun fact. They're hardy in zones 5 through 8, and they're just the perfect cute little shrub to pop in anywhere. Our last plant of the day is the Golden Ticket Privet, and these are one of my favorites. You know how there are certain plants that when you're driving down the road and you see one and you just know what it is. I'm always like, oh, that's a privet. Oh, that's a privet. It's because they have the most gorgeous color. It's that golden limey color that just gets my attention, and I love the way that they grow, the habit that they grow. So traditional privets were very invasive and they got huge and they would just take over gardens. Proven winners improved that, and these guys only get like 4 to 6 feet tall, so they've got all the good qualities of the traditional privet, none of the bad ones. So as I mentioned, it has this wonderful habit, and so I would give it some space. When you plant it, I struggle with that because I like to pack things in because I want it to be instantly chock full of beauty, right? I'm very impatient, but if you are planting this, give it some space because you are going to love its free-flowing habit. It's gorgeous. The movement, the way that, it's just gorgeous. They are hardy in zones 5 to 8, and you do want to put them in full sun. That full sun is what's really going to bring out that vibrant, rich color that you are going to love and see when you're driving down the street from here on out, I guarantee it. Thanks for hanging out again today, guys. I hope you saw a plant that you absolutely love. If you cannot find it in your local garden centers, you know where to find it online, provenwinnersdirect.com. Happy planting.